Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Sounds of the Diaspora, artist to artist conversation with yours truly, Dion Parson. I'm really excited about our guest tonight. He's an amazing, amazing artist. He's a producer, songwriter, vocalist, and he specializes in smooth jazz and R&B. Please join me in welcoming to the show Mr. Bob Ivory.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening. How you doing tonight?
All right, brother Dina, how you feeling today?
I'm great, man. I'm great. Good to have you on the show.
Glad to be here. I appreciate it. Appreciate the opportunity.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So you've been really busy in the industry doing a number of things, several things. Producing, songwriting, behind the scenes. That's more your specialty. But you take the mic, you take the mic every once in a while and do your thing. We'll talk about that later. But tell us about your musical upbringing.
Sure. Well, I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, by way of a little small town called Lake Village, Arkansas. Hopefully, I
Okay.
can village on the map this evening. But grew up in a musical household. Was adopted by my grandparents. My grandfather was a lyric tenor, played the piano. So there was always a piano in the house, always an upright piano in the dining room. So I gravitated towards music at an early age. Aunts and uncles all played or sang. So there was always music. There was always a piano. So I think it was just second nature to kind of adopt that as kind of
Mhm.
one of my favorite pastimes. And then that just evolved through school and playing in the band. I actually played the trumpet in the band and played the piano. So music has just always been around me and close to my heart.
So it sounds like pianos is your instrument,
Yeah,
right?
that's my piano. Yeah, I actually played pipe organ.
Okay.
Pipe organ, learned it in high school and played the pipe organ in college. Played classical music, but definitely piano and
The pipe
keyboard.
organ, like, is a church pipe organ.
Yeah,
That's
or
okay.
yeah, the
And you played that
bottom.
in college also.
Oh yeah. Played it in college and played it in church as well for a while. But yeah, definitely pipe organ. I was always just fascinated just by sound, and pipe organ gives you an array of sound and instruments just at the touch. And so yeah, that was something I was gravitated towards when I was in college.
Okay. And did you study music in college?
I did. I studied pipe organ, classical pipe organ, music theory. So yeah, that was. I initially wanted to be a music educator, and that
Mm.
evolved obviously over the years. But yeah, I studied in college, and as early as grade school.
Okay, great, great. So, as a singer-songwriter, you know, where did the vocalist, how did you find your your voice? How did that come about? Because it doesn't sound like you grew up singing, and it doesn't sound like you did that in college. So, at some
No,
point,
I would say vocally, I kind of maybe just stumbled upon singing because at some point as a pianist you have to give out parts if you are
nah,
playing for choir. So then I would have to sing and I have to have least relative pitch. But the older I got and the more involved I got in the music, the affinity for songwriting just hit me. Like I want to be that person that writes, creates songs. So part of that was me singing the songs myself. So I would either teach someone to sing it or demo it and sing it myself. So I think just over time, I was like, look, if somebody's gonna like this song, they're gonna have to hear it from somebody. So initially, that would come from me. So I guess the singing aspect was really just me being able to, articulate through song, through my voice, my own original music.
that's great. That's great. So, you have the pipe organ, the piano background, and then you kind of found yourself venturing in as a vocalist and sharing this, and then behind the scenes you're this great producer. You produce projects for a lot of amazing acts, and that's kind of your specialty, right? Writing songs for the artists and producing them. When did you know that was your calling?
I think in college, because in your downtime, when you're not, studying your instrument and so forth, I was in a band in college, and then I began, introduced to, electronic music and studio recording and so forth. So the production aspect was just, I guess, me just saying, how do I take the lyrics, the music, uh, my musicianship as a pianist, how do I put sounds around that to the point where it's moving other people? And
Mhm.
in that vernacular, it's more like moving them like commercial music. Like, how's this going to sound, or should it sound on the radio? Or how does popular music, reach and grab people? And now that's through production.
Okay. Okay, that's great, man. So you choose, or you kind of gravitated towards smooth jazz and R&B as your genre of choice. But you
Yes.
you said you came up in a classical music, but we'll get to your music later on, which is I'm waiting to do that because there's some beautiful stuff. But
I
for the artists that you work with,
Okay.
um, how do you like what's your process in the studio of producing them, and how do you work with the artists?
Um, for me, it's kind of allowing the artist to kind of speak to me through their voice, through their artistry, through their musicianship. So once I kind of get a feel of where that artist is or where they would like to be, then I try to intertwine that with my style, learn their style, and see where that kind of happy medium is. Where is it that the artist is able to, fully express themselves, and where my music or my songs may complement that artist. So
Mhm.
it's really more of a collaboration as opposed to, hey, here's this song, let's fit it on an artist, or vice versa. To me, it's more like a collaboration of how are
Mhm.
both of our art forms, supporting each other. And that to me is just a back and forth, give and take, listen and learn each other until you feel this connection, like, okay, this is working because I'm feeling where you're going, you're feeling where I'm going, and then hopefully we could arrive, together at the same place, like harmoniously.
Right. So kind of like the studio is your laboratory. That's
Yeah,
you figure everything out in the studio.
yeah. In the
Yeah.
studio,
Great.
and it's even simpler than that. I'm that old school pen, paper, piano guy. So even before we even get to the studio, I'm that guy with a pen, a pad, my piano, the lyrics, and from that point, how do we get to the studio aspect? But the foundation to me is just that old school songwriting with a piece of paper and a piano. Yeah,
Okay, so you do everything like right there in person on the spot.
the spot. Yes, sir.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So what projects are you working on currently?
Currently, I'm really enjoying this project. I had the pleasure of meeting Keith Mitchell. Keith Mitchell is one of the founding members of the platinum R&B group After Seven, and met him a few months ago through some mutual acquaintances, and we connected. He's doing this follow-up gospel project, so I
Mhm.
submitted some material that he heard, and he really, appreciated, the songs that I wrote, and the rest is history. We've been recording. He's been to Cleveland. I'm looking forward to go to Atlanta to work with him. So yeah, that is kind of the highlight of this year is meeting Keith and working on what I believe is going to be a very, anointed gospel project with him as the lead artist, lead singer.
Okay, great. So in the collaboration with Keith or any other artist, do you bring the band? Like, do you like handpick the musicians to come in and deliver the project for you, or how does that work?
Great question. I would say, and of course, I'm gonna be very biased when I say this. Cleveland to me is hometown and birthplace to probably some of the most talented musicians in the world.
Mhm.
And fortunately, I know a great deal of those gentlemen and young ladies that are in my cell phone. So when I reach out to these guys and and musicians, they respond and come together around these songs and tracks and projects. And yeah,
Mhm.
I am elated to be able to sit around some of these musicians and bring, bring some of this music to fruition. But yeah, a lot of that is just me reaching out to old friends, new friends, and you know, just get in the studio and just crank them out.
That's great, man. That's great because you know what I'm enjoying about this conversation is that this is a side of the industry that nobody really talks about, and nobody really kind of, that's, because everybody talks to the artist, they talk to the singer, they talk to the horn players, they talk to the musicians, but the behind the scene person, the producer, the songwriter, the contractor, the person that's like the glue to the whole thing that makes it happen. Nobody really talks to that person, don't know who that is, and that's kind of who you are, you know, in sort of speaking. That's you, that guy behind the scene that writes the music, sit with the artist, write the music, figure out what the artist wants, put that in place, contact the musicians that you think will fit that project, and produce the whole project, and then possibly take it on the road.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, it's like building, it's almost like building a home and from the ground up. I'm
Right.
sitting now in a facility that I'm renovating. It's a homeless facility for homeless women and children. That's one of my other hats. And when I look
Okay.
at the patient and I look at the different pieces that and the different contractors and all the different elements to bring this project to fruition, it's the same thing with music. It's the same thing with the studio and musicians. I know a lot of bass players, but which bass player, does this song need? I know a lot of guitarists, but which guitarist does this, melody, require, and so forth and so forth. So to
Right.
bring those elements together and, keep using, all the tools that you have from an artistry standpoint, yeah, it's like building, it's like watching a house being, built from the ground
Right.
up. But to
It's
me,
like being
built
a project manager
absolutely.
right, right. But you have to understand the structure of the whole concept because being a project manager, you got to be able to read the plans. You got to be able to read the architectural plans and read the engineering plans and how the wiring for the electricity is going to go and where's the plumbing going to go. All this the same thing with music. If you don't know what an A minor is, how are you going to know if the bass player is playing the right notes or not? So it's
And
it's a
a lot of
similar.
vibe,
Yeah.
a lot of vibe.
Yeah, it's about a vibe also. And the
It's
fact that you may not call yourself a performing artist, but you do perform, and the fact that you can do that as well lends you, gives you the experience to be this producer behind the scene to make this happen.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I mean, that's one of the reasons when we talked initially and you shared with me what you do, because our good friend Tony Nicholas,
Yes.
highly recommend. He's like, you gotta talk to Bob. You gotta have Bob on the show. And he's like, D, I'm not that artist, but I'm this guy. I'm like, wow, I've never had a person like this on the show before. So I hope our audience is understanding how special this is because you're giving a behind the scene account of what happens, like what it takes to put one of these projects together. So hopefully our conversation will lead up to your songs and our audience will understand what it took to put that together. So it doesn't happen overnight. You don't just go in the studio and say, let's record. It's a process.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the process, can take years. There's some songs now that I'm recording that I wrote back in college, over 40.
Okay.
So there's an evolution to music as well. Um,
Mhm.
in that era, that song required, what it needed then, but today it requires something totally different, which means it's going to be received differently, just based on how that song evolved, over time.
Right, right. And do you also work with other producers? Like if you're doing a project and you say, hey man, I could use a flavor from this other person. Would you collaborate with other? I know you're working with specific artists to make those projects happen, but do you collaborate with other producers and projects if you feel a need to do that?
All the time, all the time. And I think that is, the beauty of, this universe that we call music, and what a universal language that it is, that you can reach into other producers, if they could be in another part of the country somewhere, but you can collaborate and combine, the artistry from different talents. Right here in Cleveland, there's several producers that I've worked with that I would love to work with. But yeah, I'm wide open for collaboration. It's almost like it's like a puzzle. That the right piece could come from somewhere else. You just have to
Mhm.
be receptive in how do you communicate that in order to give that project or that song or that sound or that artist what they need to be successful. And a lot of that I believe is through collaboration.
Right. And Cleveland is the home of some of, the greatest musicians. I mean, you guys have a history of just producing some amazing talent, from there. So tell us a little bit about the influences you've had coming up, like the folks that have inspired you, because
Sure.
there's a rich, or there's a plethora of artists that's there that's just amazing.
Well, it is, and you just mentioned one very good friend, very talented, who I've been able to watch up close and also from a distance over the years, and that's Edwin Tony Nicholas, just extraordinary producer, extraordinary songwriter. So all the hits that he has to his credit, and all the great songs and productions, that's definitely been he's been an influence to me as well. I worked with two gentlemen. This was back in the '90s. Mike Chapman and Trent Thomas. They had some success, great success in the '90s. They worked on the was the Low Down Dirty Shame soundtrack. A lot of the musicians that played on that soundtrack are good friends of mine. So yeah, Cleveland to me it has a plethora of talented artists, musicians, songwriters, singers, producers,
Mhm.
engineers that have credits on platinum and Grammy award-winning, projects. You got Mike Calhoun and the Daz Band. Uh, it's just to me the birthplace of giants, and if I could just be somewhat, assimilated with that type of talent, um, that would be a blessing.
And that's I mean, I'm just learning this again through my relationship with Tony. He's kind of been opening up my eyes and ears to a lot of what's been happening in Cleveland. So I'm really grateful for that. But you know, one of the things that I'm appreciating is the connection that you guys have there. And being an educator, I'm the chair of the Communication and Performing Arts department at the University of the Virgin Islands. You think academically and how can I get this in the classroom? But visiting Tony's studio is like I walked out, I was like, wow, this is a classroom. It's like it's like it's a life classroom. And just sitting in the control room while a project is going on, you learn so much just being there and just from just seeing how the musicians interact and collaborate. What I like about that is a level of old school still because so much is produced, heavily produced these days, and cats just sit on a computer and just create all the tracks. What I enjoyed about visiting Cleveland was everything is still organic. It's I mean you can still track stuff, but there's a level of human interaction in in all the projects that I witnessed,
Sure.
which I enjoy, and I can hear that in your music as well, which says a lot about just making sure that the emotions and the conveying of the songs are being presented in a certain way.
Absolutely. I think the operative word is balance. How
Right.
do you balance the organic with the uh, electronic, with the digital, with the live musicianship, with the AI? What's the balance between all of that that you can still, appreciate, the musicianship of those that are bringing their instruments in and plugging them in and playing the keys and playing the guitar and playing the harp and whatever that is. How do you balance that with the virtual instruments? How do you balance that with AI? How do you balance that with a cappella? I just think there's something to be learned or something to be gained of how and from whence this has come, say from the '60s or the Motown era or the Gamblin' Hub
Right.
era, Babyface era, all those different eras to the day, I still believe that there is value in how do you balance all of these different art forms, all these different genres, all these different techniques, all the different technology. So I think it's really about how you balance that, as opposed to, viewing one versus the other, or one era versus the other, or one form of recording versus the other. I try, at least with my music, to balance it all together and come up with something unique, but something that's going to move a diverse generation of people.
Right. And that's a project in itself. I mean, you have to sit down and figure that out because you collaborate in all those worlds. You use live musicians, you do programming, you've done AI stuff as well, right?
Absolutely. And I say all the time, I was having a conversation with somebody today that, AI to me can be your friend. It's a tool. And throughout history, there are different tools through technology that have enhanced and that have broadened and that has, incorporated, some of the nuances. However, it's to me just a tool that I use to enhance certain forms of music, not to replace per se any form of music, but as an enhancement. And I just think
Right.
it has a place. And I think we can point out through history where one form of technology has come in to enhance what was before. But I still think it's about how do you balance that, and how do you, really show appreciation, for it all.
Right. Because the bottom line is AI is not going away. It's going to be here. So, like you said, balance. I mean, we're not going anywhere either. So how do we make sure that the cats that we know have a rightful place in the music and can still present themselves while we're incorporating the new technology of the times? It's important to figure that out. So I applaud you for your journey in this process, because it's not an easy journey trying to figure that out, because not everybody have decided to embrace it. That's the other thing. Some folks is like, oh man, I'm not going to mess with that right now, I'm gonna leave that alone. But I applaud you for going down that path and trying to embrace all of the above. So great. um One of the things that I wanted to share with the audience is that Bob he doesn't profess to be a performing artist, but this man can sing. Okay, he can sing, and he shared with us some songs that I think is a really good representation of who he is. And I just want to I want to jump into that right now, and share with you some of his great music that he's shared with me, and the stations that we've been able to check it out. So the first song that he shared with us is a song from his solo work, from his studio work, that is really incredible. The first song is a song entitled Sway With Me, and this song actually hit the top 40 charts. So let's check out his song Sway With Me. All right? Let's check it out.
Won't you take my hand and sway with me? And when we're done dancing, stay with me. There'll be more romance and we'll wait and see. Here we are in our fairy tale that we know so well, as we stand here together. To hold you, and if I have not told you, you're the best thing to ever happen to my life. You're in my heart, flowing through my veins, my everything, girl. I can sway with you forever. And while the night is still young, while they're playing our song, I was hoping, if you don't mind, one more time, sway with me. Won't you take my hand and sway with me? And when we're done dancing, stay with me. There'll be
Yeah, that's Sway With Me, one of the top 40 chart songs by the one and only Bob Ivory. So Bob's been doing this thing, man, and producing songs, but this is one of the songs that he himself sang and presented. And we have a really great comment here. Bob Ivory, superstar in so many ways, author, musician, helping boys, helping women in need. What else? You are the man, bro. You wear so many hats, but as an artist, you effortlessly have the gift for music. Okay.
Appreciate that.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
man. Doing great things, bro. That's a great song.
Thank you.
What was the concept behind Sway With Me?
Sway With Me is in essence just kind of that feel good ride and vibe, almost like date night kind of song. No pun intended. I do have a song called Date Night. However, to me, it's just bringing back that what I think might somehow it's been lost a little bit on just how two people can just come together and enjoy each other. And
Right.
Sway came actually one thing I don't do very well, and that's dance. So, but I can sway though. I know how to do stuff and go back and forth.
That's just left foot, right foot, left foot, right
Yeah.
foot. That's the way, yeah.
So in essence, that's kind of where that came from. But actually, it was inspired. Believe it or not, there was a song. Not that that's where I kind of got the concept from, but I didn't realize that there was a Dean Martin song in the '60s called "Sway With Me," and
Okay.
once I heard that song, I was like, "Wow!" I never heard the song before, but it still had that kind of that song had a more like of a Latin feel to it, but just the
Mhm.
concept of swaying, dancing, just that whole kind of ambiance. That's kind of where sway came from.
Okay. Okay. And as a songwriter, you get inspiration from different places, right?
Yes, I do. I do.
Yeah.
And
Eh,
from the spectrum. Like I said, I just mentioned, Dean Martin, but
right.
also I'm inspired by Bruno Mars. You know what I'm saying? So it is and I think that's because of studying music and different genres of music and understanding the essence of music, the theory of music, and that means that influence is going to come from all over the spectrum.
Right. Great, great. Well, we have another song that you shared with us, entitled "When We Cuddle."
Okay.
And I mean, when you hear "When We Cuddle," you could just use your imagination, just laying in bed with your significant other. But what's tell us about this song?
When we cuddle, it's still around that same kind of concept of just being all into someone that's all into you. And another thing that I think is kind of borrowed from yesteryear, where music was not so graphic. It was the lyrics were not so overt. It was not so kind of just in your face. I think we've kind of elevated or graduated to a place where we just say, you know what I'm trying to say. We go there lyrically.
Yeah,
We go
yeah,
there. But how about sublime it, or how about subtly, or how about
right,
suggest without
right.
actually saying it? So when we cuddle, it's just really it's a
Mhm.
date night, but it's two people that just into each other so bad that just cuddling in itself
Right.
is
Great, great. Well, let's check this one out. When We Cuddle.
When we cuddle, I love it when I hold you, babe. Just to soothe each other after we get home from a very long day. You just take all my troubles away. After last night, after the sunrise, at the start of a new day. After we go our separate ways, with a morning kiss that goes something like this. 'Cause I'm gonna miss you until I see you again. And after a very long ride, just make all my troubles go away. Ooh, when we cuddle.
I like that one.
Like that.
That's yeah, love the vibe, the arrangement and the vocals. Yeah, ooh, when we cuddle. Yeah, that's the keeper, man. That's the
Thank you.
keeper. I enjoy that, man. It's very catchy and it explains a lot. And like you mentioned, you don't have to say it. You can
Right.
just imply it. And I agree with you. A lot of the music that we hear today is just like in your face. There's no room
Right.
for imagination. It's just bam, and then it's like just out the gate, and it's like, what do you do after that?
Exactly. And I think, like I say, that's from, I believe, a different era. That's from kind of the, I hate to say it, but this is old school, where, it's left to the imagination, or it's left to, how do you anticipate something as opposed to it just being just put in your face. And, it doesn't give you opportunity to create or have a vibe because it's already been presented to
Right.
you. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're in a very how shall I say this? uh, the world we live in is like, everything has to be there right now. It's a very
Yeah.
impatient world. Like, okay, so let's just get to what we got to get to versus taking our time and getting there marinating. It's like even fast food. Nobody wants to cook anymore. Let's just go get the food. And do what we got to do. But I really enjoy that concept of what you're
Mhm.
talking about. I enjoy that song, and I really enjoy. I think people should really. I kind of wanted to push rewind and play it again. you
And
know,
I filming
when we
it.
called it, it's like it finished so quick. I was like, man, I want to hear that again. You have a favorite song. I'm the type of person that I have a favorite song. I just put it on repeat,
Mhm.
and I can listen to it like for hours. That's one of those songs.
Awesome. And I enjoyed filming it shot that in Atlanta. Very talented videographer, cinematographer. His name is Nicholas Card. He calls Keezy. He's also an excellent uh, artist, rapper, musician, producer, but had just met him in Atlanta through another Clevelander. His name is Lavelle Jones, also a good Cleveland native, but had a ball, shooting that in the ATL.
Yeah, it's one of those songs, man. It's very catchy, bro. So
Thank
continue success with it, man. I really thank you for sharing that with us.
you. Appreciate it.
I like that. Yeah. So cool. Let's the next song you shared with us um is Date Night Tonight. Tell us
Mm.
about that
Wow, your listeners are probably like, this dude really talks a lot about dating and date night.
one.
But I think I'm just being honest that I think that's missing. I think that, um, you know, that type of romance, that type of, you know, dating goes back to when you were in high school. So how do you
Mhm.
get away from that, or how do you not, incorporate that in your relationship?
Right.
Um, not only getting to know someone, but experience someone in the hectic days that we have and work and all the dynamics that are going on, in your day-to-day lives, or even in the country, or even in your business, or whatever it is you got going on. Sometimes I think you just need to pause and just like, hey, let's just go on a date. Let's just,
Mhm.
and it could be something simple. It doesn't have to be this grandiose, production. It could just be, playing Scrabble on the floor, or, you know, watching each other's favorite movie, or, just enjoying each other's, some quiet time alone. Just, date night.
Date night. So you should add to one of your many hats that you already have, like, romance coach as well. So so you could set up, set up date nights for folks, man. Hey,
Hey,
what
you
kind of
got
evening you want? If you want this type of evening, do this, like have a template where people can fill in on the app and then you could share with them how to hook up their date night because you're pretty good at this, obviously.
Well, I just think that what it took to get something started is what it's going to take to sustain and keep it going.
Right, right, right.
To, your significant other, I just would encourage anybody to, you have to incorporate, dating again. I don't care if you've been together for 2 years or you've been together for, 42 years. I don't think you can get away from what drew you to each other.
Hmm. That's good advice. That's really good advice. I think some people just kind of get caught up in it and it fizzles out versus
Oh yeah,
keeping that excitement going and just just being respectful to your significant other, making
uh,
sure that yeah. So great. Well, let's check this out. This is entitled Date Night Tonight.
big night tonight.
We've been tired and they've been busy too. How I look forward to spending some time with you. Let's let the neighbors hear just how much I missed you soon. Let's just set the mood and turn the lights down low. And I may play a list of all of you favorites. It's been a long time since we had a night like this. Let's stay late tonight. Just escape the grind. Bright white candlelight in the mood it would be nice. It's date night tonight. To me and you time. It's love like make love. Let's try to have a crazy date night away. It's been too long since we romanced the night away. And my love for you is that strong as when I first saw your pretty face. Tonight it's all about you. An evening to explore with just a pillow and blanket on the floor. Make playlist all of your favorites. It's been a long time since we had a night like this. Let's stay late tonight. Let's escape the quiet. Rain one candlelight. Maybe movie would be nice. Stay late tonight. To me and you time. Slow light, make love. Let's try the shiny crazy daylight. Every room. Hug up, cuddle up, make a lot for you. Music gon' get, it's gon' know self for inside. Self gon' inside. Strawberries up, cream really. It's date night tonight. Let's get you right. Rain light, candlelight, and a movie would be nice. Stay night tonight. To me and you done. Slow light, make love. Let's drive each other crazy daylight wild.
Yeah, that's another good one. That's another good one, bro.
Oh, back.
Yeah, that's another good one. We have a comment here. I was just about to say dating is a lost art. Okay. Yeah. That's beautiful. We need more like this. Okay. Yeah. So romantically conceived. All right. Great stuff. Great stuff, brother Bob. Great music, man. Great music. So when you're writing and putting this song, for instance, this song you put together, did you do all the tracks? You brought in musicians? Like how was this song put together? Can you hear me? Hey Bob, can you hear me? I'm not sure if you can hear me. Hey Bob, can you hear me at all? Hello? I'm not
Can you hear
sure
me?
if you I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? I can hear you. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me at all?
I still can't hear you.
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
Something happened. I don't know what happened just now. Something happened just now. Well, I don't know how to fix this, but I'm gonna say um I think our audience can hear you as well. So I can hear you and our audience can hear you. So I'm not sure if can you hear me now? No? Okay. So we have one more song of Bob to play. So we're just gonna go ahead and play this song, and hopefully you guys will enjoy this. He has some great music, as you could tell, the songs that he's presented. I enjoy this song. It reminds me of another song, and I'll tell you about it afterwards. But this song is entitled "What It's Like." So let's check it out. Bob Ivory, "What It's Like."
Since that night when we talked on the telephone, you're on my mind all this time that I spent alone. All those questions that we asked each other just turned me on and on like no other. But there's something else I meant to ask of you as I pictured you there in your bedroom. It's okay if you don't wanna say, I don't mean to pry, so let me ask you this way. If you can't tell me, can I ask your pillow, what's it like every night laying by your side? There's something that I love to do. If you won't tell me, can I ask your pillow, what's it like every night laying next to you? What's it like? That's the question that keeps knocking at my door. Come and see is the answer that I'm hoping for. I'm just waiting for some indication. Is it just in my imagination? I'm trying to not cross the lines that we both drew, but I can't help what I felt. Yes, I'm feeling you. I'm not sure just how far this will go, but I'm serious, curious, and I've got to know. If you can tell me, can I ask your pillow, what's it like every night lay by your side? There's something that I love to do, and if you won't tell me, can I ask your pillow, what's it like every night laying next to you? break it down. What's it like every night? Laying next to you. What's it like? What's it like every night? Laying next to you.
Sir. Yes, sir. What it's like. I think that's a very great question. What it's like.
What's it like?
Hmm. What it's like. Since you won't tell me, I'll ask your pillow what it's like lying next to you. So, what it's like, bro? Tell us about this song. Tell us about this song. What it's like.
Well, um, I guess this might be one of those, I guess, grown folks music, so to speak.
Hmm.
And what can I say? If they're not gonna tell you, you gotta ask somebody. So why not ask the pillow? This pillow would know, right? What's it like?
Pillow, definitely. Pillow would know.
Yeah.
So,
So
so
it's still that, like I said, suggestive, almost, a very subtle way or subliminal way of getting to know someone without just overtly, going there. So just kind of using some, clever, creative. The pillow is the metaphor,
mhm.
and I still think that's a kind of an old school way of saying, you know, without saying it.
Right, right. That's beautiful, man. What inspired you to write this song?
Wrote that song years ago, to be honest, and kind of updated the lyrics, maybe within the last 6 months. But it's a concept of, imagine that you're trying to get to know someone, you're asking them a lot of questions, and it's going real casual, it's going real safe, you're being very, gentlemanlike, but that's not what you really want to find out. So how do you say that without, you know, you know, uh, being overbearing
Mhm.
what you're feeling about that person? So I tried to figure out what would be a real clever way of of asking her something that might be private. And I say, well, okay, I'm not even gonna go there with you. Put your pillow on the phone. You know, so that's where that came from.
The pillow will give up all the answers. Well,
That's
man,
right.
brother Bob, it's been a pleasure having you on the show, man. I know time is not our friend right now, but I just want to say that your music is very inspiring, and I do hope that you consider performing, man, because you should be on stage. I know you've heard it
Yeah.
before. I know you're the guy behind the scenes, producing everyone and contracting the band and writing the music,
Yes.
but you should consider getting on stage, man. You got a great voice, great presentation. I know you're a swear. You're not a dancer. You're not going to do the usher
Yeah.
dance steps and all of that.
Yeah.
But great music, man. Beautiful music.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you for this platform. Thank you for this opportunity, for this venue to express, our art form, our musicianship, our, artistry. Without these kind of platforms, we will not have the type of voice that we, could share. So I appreciate you and this opportunity to, share this gift called music throughout the diaspora, and also to the good bros. I just wanted to say, Rue.
To the good bros, yes.
Yeah.
To the good bros. Yes, sir. We will be talking. I want to talk to you more offline because I know you have some really amazing artists that you're working with, and I would like
Yes.
to bring them to this platform as well. So we'll we'll have that conversation. But I wanted to have you here first, so our audience, when we bring your artists back, they know, from which camp they came from and the work that you're doing,
Sure.
with them, working with them, and being creative behind the scenes. Thank you for sharing what you do, because it's not easy being a producer and being that glue, that connection between all of the moving forces. People just see the artist on stage and have no idea of what makes that happen, and you're the gentleman that makes that happen. So oh man, you got one here from a family, a cousin. You're just simply awesome. Check that out.
Oh, thank you, cuz. Appreciate it. Thanks, cuz.
You got fans everywhere, man. We got to get you on stage, bro.
All right. I'll work on that.
All right, man. Bob Ivory, tell our audience how they can follow you, how they can connect with you, how they can hear your music. What platform should they go to, and how should they follow you?
Absolutely, absolutely. You can follow me I'm on Facebook, just my name, Bob Ivory, and I have an Instagram page, which is Bob Ivory Music, the number 1, Bob Ivory Music 1. You can follow me as well, Instagram and on Facebook. YouTube as well. I have a YouTube channel that's just my name, Bob Ivory.
Great. Thank you, my brother, for being
Thank
on
you.
the show and sharing your story and music with us, man. Again,
Appreciate you.
we'll talk offline, and it's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Same here. Much love.
Yes, sir. Take care. Yes, that was the one and only Bob Ivory, producer extraordinaire behind the scene for smooth jazz and R&B artists. And please support him. Go check him out. Check out his music and encourage him to sing, man. You heard him sing. Amazing voice, great songs. We got to get him on stage at some point, okay? But I would love to invite you to come back next week and join me again as we bring another great artist to the Sounds of the Diaspora. Come back next week and help me welcome to our show the one and only Mr. Willie Martinez, percussionist extraordinaire. All right, we'd love to see you next week as we present Willie, okay? You guys take care. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for supporting the show, and have a beautiful evening. Good night.